Hey everybody, it's another Monday, and that means it's another episode of the Firehouse Pizza and Pub Off the Track show here from Firehouse Pizza and Pub in Uptown Normal. We got another great show for you here coming up from Firehouse again on the Off the Track show. 6 o'clock starts every Monday, so definitely tune in. We've only got one more show left after that, and check it out. If not, you can head to our streaming site, bloomingtonthunder.tv, to catch the show anytime during the week, or head to Cities 92.9 to check out the show re-air, caught at 7:30 a.m. In the morning on those Saturday mornings. And we got another great weekend of games for Bloomington, another road set after this past weekend. Again, another great show for you. We got Vlad Giachevelli along with Jeremy Davies. They'll be on the mic in a little bit, but this guy to my right, it's assistant coach and director of scouting, Dan Jewell, and we are ready to go here on the Off the Track show. Jules, appreciate the time.
Oh, happy to come out.
And obviously, the scouting part of the job really comes to fruition now in the later parts of the season, and it starts to become, all right, where do pieces fit into the puzzle for this next couple seasons? And I know you and Coach Williams went out on a nice big scouting trip getting ready for the draft.
Yeah, we actually, our last home game 2 Saturdays ago, we played, had a nice game there. And actually me and Coach Williams hopped right in the car after the game and shot up to Kalamazoo from Bloomington, spent the night there, and got to Ann Arbor, Michigan Sunday a.m. The National Team Development Program tryout camps for the development for the U17 team next year. So they had about 50 players out there, and so that was a good event for both myself and Coach Williams to get to.
And that's a big event, too, for not only junior hockey, but the USHL, because those are the top prospects in the country. And really, once it comes down to it, it becomes a picking and choosing kind of from teams and trying to grab guys who made it to that camp but might not make that U17 team, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Essentially, those are the best players at the 99 birth year in the country right now, as evaluated by USA Hockey and their scouting staff. So it was a good opportunity for us to see some of the best players at that birth year play against each other and with each other, and evaluate and see where guys are at the highest level of competition. And as you mentioned, they'll pick their team, and the remaining guys will likely be the top picks in our futures draft coming up on May 4th. So it was good for, obviously, myself, who's seen these guys throughout the year, but for Coach Williams, our head coach and general manager, to get out and see those guys in person.
And hey, there's a lot of allure to going to play for the USA program. It's one of those storied programs in not only the USHL, but also in their history, just playing in juniors and playing against college teams. But there are some guys who also, even if they are asked to join the team, they may not go over to that team because they'd rather go and do more of the high school thing. What does Bloomington have to offer then that's outside of that USA program?
I mean, it's rare to see a kid not accept an opportunity with the development program because they do such a good job in player development and stuff like that. But occasionally you'll see a kid who wants to stay at home, or sees that their player development could be better elsewhere, which is hard to see with how good of a job they do there. But with that being said, I think there is some value to younger guys playing with older players day to day in practice, and a team like us in Bloomington could do that justice in having potentially a younger player practice day to day with 18 to 20-year-olds instead of all players at their same age. With that being said, they are arguably the best players at their birth year, so the competition level is high in practice. But that is a constant debate you talk about between development program and major junior and the USHL. I mean, everybody has their own opinion, but I think development program does a pretty good job.
We're talking with Dan Jewell, the assistant coach and director of scouting for your Bloomington Thunder, as we come to a close in the 2014-15 USHL season. Only 4 games remaining for your Bloomington Thunder, and the final game of the season, April 11th, is the season finale. Definitely don't want to miss out on that at the US Cellular Coliseum, Bloomington, finishing up a road trip in this past week against Green Bay and then Sioux Falls and Waterloo. And while the playoff hopes are dashed for the team as far as the USHL is is concerned, this team and this league is always about development, and all the players on the Bloomington Thunder roster know that. So the finale towards the end of the season, it's just as competitive as day one, really, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, day to day, this league is for player development, and it's for getting guys to be prepared for the next level. And that, not to be said that we aren't, striving for a championship here moving forward, but the opportunity for these guys to keep getting better and to play at the highest levels moving forward is outstanding in this league. And we still expect to win hockey games here down the stretch, and their goal should be, if they don't have a scholarship, to attain a scholarship. And if they're young enough to be drafted in the NHL, is to get higher on the NHL draft radar. If they already have their scholarship and their draft year has passed along, get on the radar for pro scouts. So there's always attainable goals that haven't been hit yet for any player on our team, and there's no reason to sit back. And there's a lot of opportunity to improve their roles leading into next year as well. So exciting time for us as a coaching staff to continue development and prepare leading into next year, and furthermore preparing the guys that are going to college next year to be impact guys when they enter the schools next year.
So obviously the final 4 games for Bloomington going to be an exciting group, and you definitely want to catch that season finale. That's again April 11th, 7 o'clock, starting against the Green Bay Gamblers. You can call and get some tickets to the Fan Appreciation Game by calling 309-434-2980, and we'd love to hook you up with the group ticket pack, or also a 6 for $36 deal as we finish off the season. Season tickets also on sale for 2015-16, so definitely check out those packages on bloomingtonthunder.com. Josie, let's kind of talk again back to that 99 birth year and everything. And when it comes to scouting for players, there's obviously it's part of the development, and 99s are a young birth year, and you saw it some of the 97s, 98s this season. Some of them can really impress you, but we're also quite a ways out from the season opener next year. So how do you kind of evaluate that talent and prepare for the future here?
Sure. I mean, I think the biggest thing is to see players' development through this season. And I think that's why you see teams within our league doing such a diligent job on the road scouting from the fall all the way till, this past weekend. And it'll continue into the draft with, the combines and other showcases and so forth. So it's a detailed process. There's no exact science to it, but it's everything from, individual player development, the level they're playing at, their, where they came from previous, how they're improving, day to day, where their development is physically, how big their parents are, there's a lot that goes into it to, essentially predict their value and their capabilities as USHL players and potential high-end Division I college hockey players and professional hockey players moving forward. So there's no exact science to it, but there's different ways to, evaluate where guys could be in a year, 2, 3 years down the road.
Sometimes playing the gene lottery, right?
Yeah.
I lucked out, or excuse me, not lucked out. I guess I didn't luck out with the gene lottery as I was growing up, so I wouldn't be one of the guys to watch out. I think that's why
you and me both here are talking about it rather than playing. So.
Well, that happens, but also, you get to, as the season run winds, you get to kind of check up on some of those guys that you made the calls on back earlier in the season, Coach Williams and Coach Mahood. You get to start to pull in some players and also getting some guys in to prepare for the draft, see what they can maybe bring to the Bloomington Thunder team. How successful has that been over the last couple of weeks, seeing some new faces here in Bloomington?
Sure, it's been good. We've had a handful of guys come through and, experience things here, and we got understand as players and as people, and I think that's the most important thing. There's a lot of high quality talent out there. It's bringing in the right type of players here that not only are going to fit our system and the way we play, but more importantly be quality guys in the community and character and work ethic and things that will not only help us win hockey games, but help them develop in the professional world, whether it's hockey or anything else moving forward. So
really starting to build that Bloomington Thunder brand. Brian Tosti and assistant coach and director of scouting Dan Jewell here on the Off the Tracks Coaches Show from Firehouse Pizza and Pub. Jules, as we kind of finish up here and talk about the the new guys that are coming into the organization, everything. You get a chance to see a guy like Vlad Giachevelli. You get to see Mitchell Matson in the system. Both guys that potentially can really impact this hockey team going into next season. 98 and 97 birth years. It's got to be impressive and also a nice little boost for this hockey team to know that they're already getting a little bit of experience that we saw from some guys earlier this year, like Jake Slaker, just getting in 2 games coming into the season, already advancing his game. That's got to put the team in good spirits going into year number 2.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great opportunity for them, and it's a great opportunity for us to help learn each other and see where, things are going to be moving forward. And, our expectations are high for these guys, and hopefully they are for themselves as well. So they keep pushing themselves day to day. And that's kind of what I talked about moving forward here next couple of weekends, playoffs, even though out of the picture, they're big weekends here for our team moving forward and maintaining and establishing that culture with our returning players here. So those two will be a big part of that moving forward.
You can always tweet at us to give us any questions here as we move forward. And the Off the Tracks Coaches Show, we're going to move on to segment number 2 in a couple seconds, but we do have a question from Twitter, and it is the head coach, Dennis Williams.
Boy.
He's got a question for you, so we'll be generous here. He wants to know, on the road, obviously there's a lot of miles logged in the car. He actually asks how much weight goes into being on the road.
Well, what type of weight are we talking
around the belly, I guess.
Around the midsection? Well, a little bit more time on the road this year, so I actually just came from the gym before this, so whenever I'm in town, I try to make up for time lost on the road. But there's a lot of work to be done in the next handful of weeks, to say the least. After a long season on the road. But
this guy's on the bike more than most of us too. And hey, I'm right in the grouping with you here. Well, I really appreciate the question. Definitely, everybody else tweet out your questions here to the Firehouse Coaches Show, Pizza and Pub Coaches Show, Off the Tracks. Definitely tweet them at Bloomington Thunder or using the hashtag Off the Tracks. Jules, we appreciate the time, and thanks for being a good sport there. That's Assistant Coach and Director of Scouting Dan Jewell. We'll be right back on the Off the Tracks Coaches Show, and we will get right back at it. Vlad Giachevelli and Jeremy Davies are going to be on the mic in just a little bit. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
At Accelerated Rehabilitation Centers, our patients' first philosophy is no empty promise. A dedicated team of physical and occupational therapists, we're here whenever you need us. With over 170 locations, we offer morning and evening appointments. Just call 877-97-REHAB. That's 877-977-3422. Or visit acceleratedrehab.com. Accelerated Rehabilitation Centers, putting patients first.
The Pit at Four Seasons Health Club is bringing you the #1 sports performance training program in America, Men's Health Thrive. Created by world-renowned strength coach Mike Boyle, is a strength and conditioning program focusing on injury reduction and maximizing results. Men's Health Thrive is designed for youth and adult athletes interested in performance-based training, power, flexibility, speed, high-intensity group, and functional training. Visit our website or like us on Facebook. The Pit, official training facility of your local pro team. Train like an athlete.
The United States Hockey League has produced over 240 alumni into the NHL and 51 selections in this year's NHL draft alone. Catch NHL talent at the U.S. Cellular Coliseum as the Thunder set out on their inaugural season. For tickets, call 434-2980.
The road of life takes you many places. From buying your first home to sending the kids to college or planning for their wedding. Wherever the road of life takes you, Busey's banking and wealth management experts promise to help you every step of the way. Visit Busey.com or stop by one of our many convenient locations for solutions to your banking and wealth management needs. Busey, your dream, our promise. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
There are many reasons to change cars.
I want a lower payment. Now,
I need better mileage. We're ready for more room. Frankly, I just hate my old car.
What's right for one person might not be right for you. SEFQ helps you get the car you want and a loan payment that fits your budget with low rates and no hidden fees. Call Phone a Loan and get a pre-approved loan in minutes. SEFQ, not a bank. Better.
Recovering from cancer often means long treatments and side effects from surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation. The STAR Cancer Rehabilitation Program at OSF helps cancer survivors and those going through treatment get stronger and feel better. OSF can help you reach your optimal recovery. For more information on the STAR Cancer Rehabilitation Program, please call 309-661-6080.
The Bloomington Thunder have first onto the USHL scene at the US Cellular Coliseum. Ticket plans for the Thunder season can be purchased through the Thunder office, so call 309-434-2980 to get your tickets today. Bloomington Thunder Hockey will sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Hey everybody, it's segment number 2, and Jeremy Davies is on the mic here. Big thanks to Assistant Coach and Director of Scouting Dan Jewell for the first segment here on the Off the Tracks Coaches Show. We are on to segment number 2, and it's a solid one here with Jeremy Davies as Bloomington looks to get back on track here in this upcoming week. Davies, I appreciate the time.
Yeah, thanks. Great to be here.
Welcome on the show. It's been a while. I don't think we got you on the show earlier this season, and a guy who came over from a trade from Waterloo to join the Bloomington Thunder organization this season. You got to go back to Waterloo, and sometimes it's the question of, okay, am I going to get the friendly hellos, or is it a little bit harder? What'd you get this weekend going back to Waterloo?
You know what? It was great. I got to see my old billets, which was awesome. I think they missed me a lot, but I think they got a great arena there, and it was great to go back there and play. Unfortunately, the game didn't turn out the way.
Big Olympic of ice in Waterloo too. It's a completely different aspect than anybody else in the USHL. So how tough is it for everybody who hasn't played in that building before to adjust to that wide of an ice? It becomes more of a European game, doesn't it?
I think, yeah. I mean, once our team got to the rink, a couple of guys went out to look at the sheet of ice, and they were just blown away by how wide it was, and but how much room there was between the boards or whatever. But I think it's pretty tough to adjust to because it's such a big difference. But I mean, you just got to grind through it and play the game like you would normally do. So
now we'll kind of touch on everything that's been going on as of late, but also a little bit about you and as we move forward in the Off the Tracks Coaches Show here from Firehouse Pizza and Pub, and obviously a guy from one of the guys from Canada and being from the Montreal sect. And I know we've talked about this. You're not technically French Canadian because you're from a different part of Montreal. Where's kind of the cutoff there and everything?
Well, I mean, guys like to call me a French guy because I'm from the province of Quebec, which is, I guess, 99% French. But my town is mostly English. I'm from Montreal, which is kind of English, I guess, But, like my town is English, so, I mean, I'm English. My parents are English. But, I mean, nothing wrong with being French.
Exactly. And then also growing up and being just around the Montreal Canadiens, there's obviously some history of hockey in that city and everything. How much did that influence you growing up and becoming a hockey player?
Oh, yeah. I mean, every kid that grows up in Montreal grows up playing hockey and watching the Canadiens or watching, the Ottawa Senators or being a hockey fan. So, I mean, it was great. I was lucky to grow up, 10 arenas 5 miles from my house or whatever. Yeah. So it was great. I was on the ice a lot as a kid and even playing in the outdoor rinks during the winter because it's cold enough there. It's awesome.
Now, Montreal, too, that's usually where the river freezes over, and there's a lot of people that play out on the river, yeah? How big is that, and did you ever get to do that growing up, too?
Yeah, I mean, I used to be on the outdoor rinks every day when I was home in the winter. Unfortunately, this year, now that I moved away from home, I can't really go out and play outdoor hockey, but it was great. And actually, right by my house, there's a park, and they'd put up boards and they'd freeze it over, just like they do at every other park in my town. So that's great.
We're talking with Jeremy Davies, defenseman for your Bloomington Thunder, as we move into the final weeks of the USHL season. Bloomington is out of the playoffs, but they do have 4 games left, including the season finale on April 11th at the U.S. Cellular Coliseum. Come on out and support the team in the season finale and fan appreciation game. Get your tickets by calling 309-434-2980. You can always come out to the Off the Track show, too. We have one more episode coming up for you. Actually, 2 more episodes coming up for you, but one more with all these guys here. And Jeremy, kind of winding through the USHL season. It's your first year in the league. Going through the year, you make the trade and the move over to Bloomington. There's a lot of adjustment that goes on not only in the league but from team to team. How have you been able to handle the adjustments that have been made throughout the year?
Yeah, well, the guys were great. I got here my first week, and everyone was really friendly. Coaching staff, really, really great. Coaching staff, really nice. It was a pretty easy adjustment, to be quite honest with you. I think here they like to play a pretty simple style of hockey, which is good. The guys don't have to really think much out there. Just simple hockey is what it is. And the coaching staff were great with me. Taking me aside, telling me what to do there, and players were really friendly too. Friends with everyone on the team, which is good. So that's it.
And it's a nice little adjustment too to make the jump to the USHL for you. Your guy came into to the Bloomington Thunder organization with the college commitment, so a little bit of the monkey off your back too, as most guys are searching for it throughout the season. For you, you're a guy set to go to Northeastern. Where was the decision to make your move to Northeastern after the time in the USHL?
Well, actually, I committed to Northeastern this summer after a week of tryouts in Chicago, trying out for the Waterloo Blackhawks, which was my first team I played with this year. And you know what? Northeastern is just a great school with a lot of history there, good program, good coaching staff. Seem to have, a lot of success, close to home too, nice arena, nice city in Boston. So everything's just great about that school, and I'm really looking forward to, hopefully end up playing there one day.
Did you ever get out to watch the Beanpot out there too with
No.
the big rivalry? I know that's kind of the big thing about Northeastern and BU, BC, and Harvard and everything.
Haven't been out there yet. Well, I was busy here playing hockey with Bloomington Thunder, but I don't know. Maybe one day we'll get a break in our schedule, and I'll be able to go watch a game or two over there.
I hear it's all the rage to get out and watch the Beanpot. On the other side will probably be playing in it here in the next couple of years as well. Jeremy Davies, defenseman for your Bloomington Thunder, as we finish up the second segment on the Off the Tracks Coaches Show. And Jeremy, just moving forward, how important does it become to with the college commitment, with the season winding down, the off season becomes a thing to kind of circle up and take a peek at. For you guys moving forward, the season's over and most people think, oh, they just go home. It doesn't really become that way. You guys are on the ice almost all the way through the summer, right?
Yeah, hockey has really become a 12-month sport. We're here working hard every day. We're in the gym every day. We're on the ice every day working hard in practice. And then, once the season's over and we end up going home, we might get a couple weeks at most off, and then we're right back at it in the gym. So, people think it's, it might be an easy life, but there's a lot of work that's put into it behind the scenes, and it's a lot of fun. You want to do it, so. And
you get to basically play the sport you love too growing up, so that's got to be a nice little plus too.
Absolutely.
Doesn't make it work if you're doing what you love. Well, Jeremy, appreciate the time here. Best of luck as we finish up the season. If we don't chat with you on the show before we finish up, have a good summer, and we'll see you next year. All right.
Thank you.
That's Jeremy Davies, defenseman for your Bloomington Thunder. We will be right back. It's the third and final segment here on the Firehouse Pizza and Pub Off the Track Show, the Coaches Show, here from Firehouse Pizza and Pub. We'll be right back with Vlad Gishovelli, the affiliate player for your Bloomington Thunder. Stick around right here on bloomingtonthunder.tv.
At Accelerated Rehabilitation Centers, our patient's first philosophy is no empty promise. A medical and occupational therapist, we're here whenever you need us. With over 170 locations, we offer for morning and evening appointments. Just call 877-97-REHAB. That's 877-977-3422. Or visit acceleratedrehab.com. Accelerated Rehabilitation Centers, putting patients first.
Busey and its associates remain committed to lending a helping hand, giving more than $1 million in countless volunteer hours each year to better the communities where we live and work. Supporting our neighbors in their dreams leads to vibrant, thriving places we're proud to call home. Visit Busey.com or stop by one of our many convenient locations for solutions to your banking and wealth management needs. Busey, your dream, our promise. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
There are many reasons to change cars.
I want a lower payment. Now,
I need better mileage. We're ready for more room. Frankly, I just hate my old car.
What's right for one person might not be right for you. SEFQ helps you get the car you want and a loan payment that fits your budget with low rates and no hidden fees. Call Phone a Loan and get a pre-approved loan in minutes. SEFQ, not a bank, better.
For your next trip to Bloomington Normal, be sure you book your event with the official host hotel of the Bloomington Thunder, the Holiday Inn and Suites. We have 5,000 square feet of flexible meeting space for your next corporate or social event. Not to mention our various suites, perfect for corporate trips or leisure. Our award-winning hotel is located on the east side of town at 3202 East Empire Street. So call 309-662-4700 to book your next trip. The Holiday Inn, the official hotel of the Bloomington Thunder.
Recovering from cancer often means long treatments and side effects from surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation. The STAR Cancer Rehabilitation Program at OSF helps cancer survivors and those going through treatment get stronger and feel better. OSF can help you reach your optimal recovery. For more information on the STAR Cancer Rehabilitation Program, please call 309-661-6080.
The Pit at Four Seasons Health Club is bringing you the #1 sports performance training program in America. Men's Health Thrive, created by world-renowned strength coach Mike Boyle, is a strength and conditioning program focusing on injury reduction and maximizing results. Men's Health Thrive is designed for youth and adult athletes interested in performance-based training, power, flexibility, speed, high-intensity group, and functional training. Visit our website or like us on Facebook. The Pit, official training facility of your local pro team. Train like an athlete.
Starplex Cinemas in Normal, Illinois features state-of-the-art sound and 100% digital projection. Relax and enjoy our spacious rocker seating along with our great low ticket prices. All shows before 6 p.m. are $6 and kids, seniors, and students pay $6 all day long. Starplex also offers $1 hot dogs and a free loyalty program where you receive 1 point for every dollar spent at concessions and the box office. Redeem your points for free popcorn, drinks, and even movie tickets. For tickets and showtimes, visit starplexcinemas.com.
Country Financial rep Richard Pittman has been to every home game since 1981, which is why on game night, you won't find him in the office. You'll find him cheering on his favorite team. Section 223. After all these years, he's gotten to know his neighbors in the stands pretty well. He's even helped some of them with their policies.
Let's see. Oh, there's Jim and Colleen in row M, Bill and Linda in row P, and Pete and his sons Brandon and Kurt in row K.
You get the idea. Richard loves hockey, and he loves helping his community. It's why Country Financial offers everything from auto, home, and life insurance to business, retirement, and college savings, too. So now everyone in Section 223 can relax and think about the things that really matter.
Like our third-line defense.
For more information on making a game plan of your own, visit countryfinancial.com or call 1-866-COUNTRY. Country Financial. Grow your own way.
Grow your own way.
Hey, third and final segment of the Firehouse Pizza and Pub Coaches Show. Bloomington Thunder's Off the Show, brought to you live at 6 o'clock every Monday. And we got a couple shows left, and Bloomington has some road games left on the schedule. So definitely want to come out and check out the season finale, which is our final game of the season. It's at the U.S. Cellular Coliseum, 7 o'clock start on April 11th. Give us a call to set up your tickets, 309-434-2980. Brian Tosti here. Big thank you to Jeremy Davies and Assistant Coach and Director of Scouting, Dan Jewell. We got to get this guy on the mic. First appearance on the show. And after a couple games in the USHL, Vlad Zhusheveli. I think I'm getting better at it. Am I?
Yeah, you are.
I hope so. I had your brother here for half the season as well, too, trying to get it right. But as we kind of move through the season, and you're getting into the first action with the USHL and starting to get your feet wet in the last couple of games. How's the adjustment been?
It's really good. I mean, it's different hockey than AAA, but I'm getting used to it and doing whatever I can to help the team and just keep playing.
So as we go throughout this process of adapting and everything, it becomes a little bit easier for a guy like yourself who's played in the USHL or played in the American hockey game for a couple years, as playing AAA and everything. When you first made the jump, is there a bit of an adjustment between playing the Russian game and playing the European game as well versus coming over and playing here in America?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, it's a smaller ice, and you got to do everything a lot quicker. In Russia, I guess it's a different styles of hockey, and I think I think it's a really good ability for me to know how to play both ways, so I can switch whenever I want or whenever I can to make the game look better and score some goals, obviously.
Well, that's always the goal too, as well, right? Putting as many pucks in the back of the net as you can. And Vlad Zhusheveli's on the mic here. We're in the third and final segment of the Firehouse Pizza and Pub Off the Track show. Definitely come on out and check us out every Monday. And Vlad, let's kind of talk about the growing up part of the game and becoming a hockey player. Russia's really emerged in the last couple, I guess the last 20 years or so of becoming a perennial powerhouse in hockey. And is that the case as you're growing up? Is hockey kind of, I wouldn't say pushed on you, but it's one of the big sports to play as a kid?
Well, yeah, hockey is definitely one of the best and biggest sports in Russia. A lot of kids play in there, and I mean, it's either soccer, either hockey for boys. So, I mean, I just picked hockey and I loved it. So just keep going playing with.
So a lot of guys too, when they're growing up in Russia, you're trying to figure out where to play. And for you, the North American game became an interest. How did you make the decision to, move from Russia to come play in America?
Well, I mean, when I played in Russia, I loved the game. I loved everything. But then I started thinking about, well, my draft year is going to be coming soon. So I got to think of going on and think of the ways of me getting closer into U.S. and trying to get my name up there. So I kind of we ask all like friends that they might, if they might know anybody that can help us out, like set us up somewhere in US. And my mom had a friend that she asked about it playing in US, and he was really welcome and he really liked how I play. So he just kind of set us up in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, Pennsylvania. I came for tryouts for a month, and then the team really liked me and they asked me if I want to stay and play, and I was like, yeah, why not?
Absolutely.
It's a great opportunity, yeah.
Well, and obviously the opportunity builds for you and also your brother, Maxime, who was here for a little bit during the season playing a couple of games in the USHL, now down with Corpus Christi in the North American Hockey League. Growing up and both guys now coming over and being drafted by the same team in the awesome USHL draft. I mean, what's the whirlwind like for you and your brother, going through camp and thinking, all right, maybe we can play on the same team here?
Well, yeah, my brother is 2 years older than me, and it was actually kind of my dream to play on the same team with my brother and kind of being on the ice at the same time. It's just a good feeling seeing your family and your brother team. I just think it's a great ability that not a lot of people have. And I was watching the draft when I saw that they draft me and then they draft my brother the next day. I was really excited about that, and I couldn't wait to come to the camp and just try out.
Well, now you're getting your feet wet too in the game in the USHL and starting to play a couple games and starting to see how it all kind of develops. Has the adjustment from that AAA game been a little bit easier for you now, and also moving into next season, knowing that you can make that jump and play for this hockey team in year number 2?
Yeah,
just how is it easier going into the next season, knowing that you've got a couple games under your belt?
Oh yes, definitely. I mean, that was the only reason my AAA season was over, and I had the opportunity to come up here and get some games in, and I was like, yeah, why not? Because I'm gonna have to deal with it next year, and I just really wanted to try, and came down here, played some games, scored a goal. My first game was really exciting, and I think I can pull out like next year. Definitely going to be much easier for me to adjust.
Mm-hmm. We're talking with Vlad Zhishevelli here from the Bloomington Thunder's Firehouse Pizza and Pub Off the Tracks Coaches Show. We're recording next Monday and the Monday afterwards as we wrap up the season. We also have our season finale on April 11th at 7 o'clock at the U.S. Cellular Coliseum coming out for Fan Appreciation Night. Love to set you up with some tickets. Just give us a call at our Thunder office, or also head to bloomingtonthunder.com. Also, tweet some questions at us. We got this guy up here for a couple more minutes, and maybe we can get some questions at him. Tweet at Bloomington Thunder, or excuse me, at BLM Thunder, or using the hashtag Off the Tracks. And Vlad, here we kind of move towards the later part of the season, and you've been in the U.S. for a couple years. How much of a difference is it from Russia to the U.S. as far as a culture, living here, and also just overall playing hockey?
I mean, it's a lot different. Well, first of all, just the food.
Yep.
Like, food is a lot different than in Russia. That's probably the most important part, like, of you trying to get used to the new food, like new area. That's a lot more. Like, I'm from Moscow originally, so I grew up in the city. I lived in the city, and moving here to Pennsylvania and Illinois is just really a lot different for me because there's just so much open space, and everybody have to drive here. Like in Russia, you either stay in traffic for like 20 hours or you take a subway somewhere and get there real quick.
Sounds like New York City to me.
Yeah.
Well, hey, and the other aspect of it too is, and we were talking about this earlier today, speaking English, and it comes a little bit naturally to you and your brother. How much did you guys learn before coming over to the U.S.?
Well, when I just came here, I couldn't speak any English, and it was kind of I was thinking to myself, I'm like, oh my God, how am I gonna end up communicating with people, because I don't know what to say, anything. It's just, it was really hard and confusing for me. But then kind of I was going on with it. I went to school, and I was just kind of sitting there and trying to listen to what people say, and I guess I just picked that up real quick. And now I can pretty much speak fluently and understand what people say. I mean, just it's ability that a lot of kids don't have. Like, speak both languages. That definitely can help me out, like in the future, my future life, and like with the job and stuff.
Not even just in hockey, just further on with going into a career and everything. And it's got to be nice too to give mom and dad a call and be able to speak a little bit of Russian every once in a while. Right?
Yeah, or my brother. Yeah.
Yeah, but I know you guys kind of talk early on. You start to learn English, which is kind of different than the U.S. Pick it up a little bit quicker, and also trying to work with billets. When you're first making the move here, it's got to be tough communicating what you want for dinner, even something like that.
Yeah, it was funny. Like, I mean, my first year, I couldn't even explain myself. I kind of trying to use the Google Translate to show my billets what food I like, or like what I want to do or something, like hang out, or it was difficult, but then I picked it up real quick. There's some things that you actually want to do, you'll pick that up. You'll pick them up real quick.
Well, you did pretty well learning the English language, and also made it through about 10 minutes of this too. So Vlad, I appreciate the time here. Best of luck for the rest of the season. We'll definitely see you back here next year. That's Vlad Gishavelli. We are all done here from the Firehouse Pizza and Pub. It's the Off the Track Show. We got another one coming at you next Monday, 6 o'clock start. So definitely come on out, catch the live show here. You can win some tickets to upcoming games, including the season finale on April 11th, 7 o'clock start from the U.S. Cellular Coliseum. So definitely check out the Off the Track Show and win those prizes, or stay tuned to some of the radio stations in town, see if you can win some free tickets to the game. For this guy to my right, Vlad, for the other guys that we had on the mic, assistant coach and director scouting, Dan Jewell, and for Jeremy Davies, Brian Tossi saying so long. We will see you next Monday right here on BloomingtonThunder.tv. Have a good one, everybody, as we try to keep the Thunder rolling this weekend with 2 games on the road. Have a good night and stay safe out there.